G'day. I haven't done much videoing in a while. I've done lots of filming, but I haven't put anything together. I've just come back from 2 months traveling Australia. A lot of it was remote on my Honda Africa Twin 2018 model. It's due for a little bit of love. I have a new set of chain and sprockets that I've got to go on. And overall major service, oil, complete strip down, air filters, all of that. This was a trial which worked really well. So I'm going to send that off to get blasted and powder coated because I'm really happy with it. I will talk about what needs doing first. I want to swap these tyres out. These were free to me from a guy up in Karratha. They actually did really well, the Pirellis. I was actually really happy with them, but I wouldn't want to be in the mud in them and all that. I was lucky that I managed to avoid the wet weather. A little bit silly on my part. These, don't bother. Now, I was just having a little play. Where'd I put it? And I just noticed, so I got my big long pinch bar here. And putting a bit of pressure on the wheel there. We have a little bit of play in here. So looks like those bearings will need replacing. The others feel okay. I'll see how I go if I want to replace a lot. What else? We got, besides the oil change, I look into where the coolant's due. I did pretty much spot on 15,000 K. And a lot of it was pretty tough riding. So, bike needs a bit of love. Like I said, chain and sprockets are absolutely cooked. Some of the mods I did for this trip, added this tool chute, which worked really well actually. I liked the way I had it. In fact, everything I did for this trip, I'm pretty much set. I'm happy with it. There's only tiny little tweaks. The Nomad auxiliary fuel tank, brilliant, love it, awesome, do it. I carried a fuel bladder, 5-litre fuel bladder, but that was excellent, absolutely excellent. Just meant when I stopped, a lot of time I just filled up both tanks. And if I really thought I was really going to struggle, then I'd fill up the bladder as well. But otherwise, I just filled both those tanks up, and it was a huge peace of mind. I changed my rip-off of the supports for your legs. I went with this larger rubber from Clark Rubber because the other ones were ripping out. So I went with this, and this held up really well. It was actually really comfortable. It supported me so well when I was standing up long sections in sand. Going uphill makes a huge difference having them. Absolutely loved it. The suspension, I did the Hyper Pro rear shock before I left. There's the purple goodness. And I did front springs, all oil, all the settings done per Hyper Pro's recommendations. And it was a lifesaver, really was a huge lifesaver. I would have done a lot more damage to this bike. Well, I haven't done any damage to the bike, but I would have done damage to this bike if I hadn't have done my suspension. The only issues which I've got to figure out is my amperage draw, whether I'm sort of on the limit with the amount of things I was sort of trying to charge and run. I was having problems with my tablet with just near the end, the last couple of days, with being able to charge the tablet effectively. I don't know what was going on. I got to look into it, because even when I plugged into, this is a dodgy repair I did while I was on the way. But what I did was I ran an auxiliary power that went into my tank bag, and I put my power bank in there. So when I was riding during the day, I'd charge up my power bank, and then when I was in my tent and I needed power, I could plug my phone and my tablet and whatever into it and charge that during the night, make sure it was in good nick for the next day. But even when I ran power anywhere else to that tablet, it still wasn't charging properly. So I'm not sure what's going on. I've got to do a little bit of investigating there. What other things? I don't know. Everything else held up really well. Like the bike is just like simple, brilliant, low compression engine. Didn't matter what fuel I put in it. It just seemed to run perfectly the whole time. I couldn't actually fault the bike. My fuel usage, I had a lot of people saying, "Oh, I never go over 4.5," and good on you. I'm not sure where you're getting those readings from, because anyone I spoke to that actually did proper readings, that's i.e., took actual measurements of fuel they're putting in, distance traveled, so on, it was more similar to my reading. So I went from anywhere from about 5 to 7.5. So I had the bags on the front here, which I think when you started going up over 100k an hour, there was pushing a lot of air, and my fuel usage would go right up. When I was sitting on the tracks doing 80k an hour, my fuel usage was really good. So I think weight is one thing. When I weighed myself, bike alone without me on it, with all my gear, my panniers, everything, I was bang on 300 kilos. So that's 2 fuel tanks. I think I'm not sure if the bladder had fuel in it, so that I don't think so. But yeah, that was 300 kilos. So weight is obviously a factor, but wind resistance was more a factor. So with the panniers, saddlebags, sorry, I wasn't really running. I was running the soft Rhino Walk bags, looking very dusty there. They were awesome. For the money you spend, those things were awesome. $2,000 you can spend on other bags. I think I spent $120 and I did 15,000k around Australia with no issue at all. I dropped the bike a few times, not at speed, but just silly things. Usually when you just stopped or about to get on the bike, or just doing a simple U-turn and I don't know. But the bags held up excellent. So highly recommend those bags especially if you don't have a budget. But I just can't justify spending, $1,200, $2,000 on a set of flipping bags. Awesome. My setup was, which I'll go into more detail later, was my saddlebags had my camping gear, cooking gear, and some food mostly. That was it. The top bag had my clothing. That was it. So if I went into a hotel, I just grabbed my top bag off, went into the hotel. I had most of my stuff I needed in there, and I might come out. Security reasons, I'd have the drone in one of the saddlebags, so I'd come and grab the drone out, and anything else that I thought, was too valuable to leave on the bike while I was sleeping in a motel somewhere. So the other things I had was, I don't think there's anything else really. My setup, I've got to say, for once I've actually got it perfect. I really liked it. The weight was really good. The weight was carrying was down low and as far forward as I could get it. The bike was really stable at speed. Cannot fault it. So it's funny that I managed to get it so right. I had a little bit of practice sort of sorting it out, but yeah, the suspension, I've got to say, is one of the biggest things, like absolutely the biggest things. I weigh 95 with all my gear on, backpack with 3 litres of water, all that stuff. That's a lot. That's a lot to, be carrying as well. Then there's all the gear. It's, it all adds up. This bash plate, that's a heavy bash plate. That's super duper awesome bit of kit. But it is heavy, so you've got to upgrade your suspension, and it made all the difference. I absolutely had so much confidence. At first it was strange and weird, but now I just love it. So definitely worth, if you're going to do a big trip, do your suspension. Really, I know it's kind of a bit of a big budget eater, but do it. It's so worth it. I just wanted to do a quick rundown of sort of, what's you know, what was the outcome of my trip with the, you know, wear and tear on the bike and all that sort of stuff. And really, bugger all. Absolutely bugger all. So, got to probably change out that bush, do my chain and sprockets, do an oil change, and I'll just check the coolant, whether that's due to be done. I am going to strip the bike down because it is due for, it's overdue for its valve clearance checks, so I'll do all that. But that's all, you know, that's all regular maintenance. That had nothing to do with the trip itself. So Africa Twin, 2018 model. I didn't have to go out and, you know, buy a BMW or some shit, brand new one. I bought this with 7,000 cal on the clock and decked it out the way I wanted and went around Australia and had an awesome time. I'm putting, I'm not, my son is, but my son's going overseas for a month. When he comes back, he's going to start editing all the, I've got so much footage, it's ridiculous, but he's going to start editing it for me and start doing, hopefully, some sort of regular videos of the trip around Australia. Yeah, stay tuned. There you go, Africa Twin for the win. Love it.